Here we go. What up? What up? Just wanted to go live on this joint, man, and talk about all this crazy stuff going on with this Tulsa real estate fund. And I watched Boyce Watkins, kind of defend his boy by any means necessary. And I'm just sitting back watching it all burn to the ground, basically. It's kind of comical, but I'm just giving my perspective and my points, what I think about everything. Why I didn't invest none of my hard-earned money into the Tulsa real estate fund. Why I think um, individuals that did invest into it were definitely misled and were investing their money uh, very unwisely and doing it off emotion and just falling for the scam, for the play. And I'm gonna also talk about what I got my money in, what I do as far as investing. And I'm not giving anybody financial advice or whatever, but you know, just I don't know if somebody's trying to like get into it and just kind of diversify what they should do, like basic stuff. So, I mean, we all know what's been going on the past couple of days or whatever with everything like that. And just what can you do to just make sure that you don't fall for no bullshit like this again? First of all, first things first, man. I think as an investor, you should, if you're planning on getting into any kind of investment opportunities, whether the first thing you got to do is you got to do your research, you got to do your due diligence. That's the first thing. You got to do your due diligence. Got to do your proper research. Um, and then from that point, and I think the second important point is, don't, you can't invest money that, you can't afford to lose. And it's kind of sad, yo, because like I saw some comments of folks online, and they basically was like, some of the folks on there, they was like, top as far as this Tulsa real estate fund or whatever, they were like, I didn't even, you know, where I'm working at now, I didn't even take none of my money that I get from my job and put it into a 401k. And I'm like, what the hell? So you're basically like most jobs will match what you put in a 401k, which is like kind of like, I guess you could say, like a beginner investment vehicle. I mean, you're paying yourself first, right? Once you get your paycheck, like you're potentially investing in yourself first before anything else, right? And you're potentially leaving free money on the table, either if it's like a 401k, Roth IRA, or whatever the case may be. If you're working for a company and they're doing a match of, like, let's just say middle ground between 4 to 6%, right? And you're just gonna leave that money on the table. Like, what the hell are you doing, yo? Like, why the fuck would you say fuck that? You know, I'm gonna take $500 and invest it in this bullshit. You know what I mean? I, that to me is just in asinine crazy. Like, I'm not. No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna at least do the match. With your job, try to max it out and go from there or whatever like that. Even before we even, I'm not even gonna say that. Like, we're gonna definitely do that first. Any debt that we have, we're gonna chip away at that. We're gonna try to get our debt down as much as we possibly can. So any extra money that we do have, we can buy. We can diversify. We can buy gold, we can buy silver. We can buy a little bit of crypto. we can, kind of get our money into some type of S&P 500 index or some type of index fund or something like that, then, we can kind of dabble around with real estate if that's what you want to do. We could do some, stock options. We could do some Forex, binary options or Forex options or, Forex, trade some Forex or whatever the case may be. We can spread our money out and we ain't just relying on our job to, fund you know, our money, or, we got multiple streams of income going in and, we got our money working for us or whatever the case may be, right? But I don't understand why people get so emotionally charged behind bullshit like this. Like, I kind of understand because you see a dude on TV on these like blogs, and he dressed nice. He got the rollie on. He pulling up in the damn Phantom, and he talking that talk and all that shit or whatever. Clean cut, all that or whatever the case may be. He telling you exactly what it is that you want to hear or whatever, right? But you're not even like, okay, we're hearing what you're saying, bro. When we're talking about Jay Morrison, like, we're hearing what you're saying or whatever, right? You got all these ideas and everything like that. Like, yo, we have to really look at your track record as far as your success and what other funds you've been in charge of, as far as being a fund manager and being able to collect money and being able to put together certain investment opportunity things together for people, so we can understand what we're gonna get out of this or whatever, right? So you had the SEC involved with this or whatever, right? They have this brother under investigation now because of the shit that he's doing is a scam. You know what I mean? I heard about the shit. Like I said, I didn't put my money into none of this. So I didn't even have to think twice about this. I'm like, no, this is just some bullshit. It's a scam. I could take my money. I could take my $500 and flip it in a less than a week, just fucking with binary options. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there, whatever. But I just knew this shit was some bullshit. It was gonna take like investors a long time or whatever to even potentially even make the investment back or even break even. You know what I mean? So it was just a scam. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. We just gotta get out of this like this sweet talk shit and jumping on board with the first thing coming our way and not really, looking at people's past as far as what they're presenting us and seeing how they were quote unquote successful in their previous business ventures and dealings or whatever like that. And we need to put them under the microscope. Like, bro, what you're saying that you were a multimillionaire and you've done all these things, but now it's coming out and it's been out for a while now that you just been kind of scamming and you've been filed, personal bankruptcy chapter 7. And so, like, how the hell you gonna be in charge of a damn fund, right? And you're gonna be in charge of millions of dollars of other people's money, and you can't even manage your own fucking money. Like, what sense does that make? Yo, I'm really disappointed in Boyce Watkins, yo, because this video is between, this is jumping back and forth between Boyce and Jay, because Boyce put out a video and yo was like defending this dude to the death. Like, he's gonna defend this dude to the death, and he's gonna compare, quote unquote, Amazon and the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, which is like comparing apples to oranges. You know what I'm saying? Like, Amazon's not running a fucking real estate fund. They're like a conglomerate of, basically a conglomerate of companies that do different shit versus, what Jay Morrison is doing. You know what I mean? And if Boyce, in one of Boyce's videos, right, He claimed that he did his due diligence. He asked all these tough questions. You know, Boyce is a self-proclaimed PhD, and he's got his PhD in finance and et cetera, et cetera. Like he keeps saying the same shit in every video. Okay, cool, bro. If you did your due diligence and you did the right research and everything like that or whatever, bro, why would you sit there and tell the people that follow you to follow this dude when we look at this dude's track record and he's not winning, yo. He hasn't shown a track record of him actually being in charge of other real estate funds or any type of other type of investment funds or anything like that. And you're basically sending people into a burning building, and now all these folks or whatever are they're gonna lose their money. This fund is done, yo. There's like $800,000 left for this fund. There was an uh, independent, like administrative, like if I'm not, I could be wrong with the terms I'm using, but basically like an independent administration that's in charge of like fund performance. They basically independently is looking at the Tulsa real estate fund, and they're like, yo, this shit is gonna lose all the money. There's only $800,000 left. You already lost millions of dollars. Like the folks that are like struggling, that had that last little bit of $500 or whatever, that believed in this shit, they are shit out of luck, yo. Yo, we gotta stop following behind these con artists, yo. Like, it's just bad for the community. It's bad for your future. It's bad for your kids' future. All of that shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. This video ain't gonna be long or nothing like that, but just overall, man, we gotta just. There's so many opportunities and things out there that actually work. That if you actually do your due diligence and do the research and take your time before you're like, all right, I'm gonna put all this money into this, like, Tulsa real estate fund, and I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z, and I'm gonna make, because me, I'm like, if I'm gonna do a $500 investment, I want to see I want to see some like steady gains, and it should be steady. You know what I mean? Like, I don't expect to make my $500 back in a day or two, but something steady, slow and steady, or whatever like that. You got the S&P 500 index. You got, what is it? It's a life index, universal index life insurance or whatever like that. That performs pretty well long term. If you start early, that does well. Like I said, you got the stock options. You got your own retirement shit from your job. If you work a job or whatever the case may be, they'll match pretty much. You dump money into that. Like, you got all of these different things that's in motion. Compared to like some bullshit like this. You know what I mean? And like I said, when I first heard about it, I was like, sound like a scam to me. Where's this money going at? Oh, then the real estate fund wasn't even going to be on no type of exchange or anything like that. It's like, bro, what type of games you playing, bro? Like, I'm not gonna have what he said on the Vlad TV. Like, I'm not gonna have the real estate fund on any exchanges or whatever, and this and that, and it's not gonna really be publicly traded for whatever reason he said, and it's just a grift, a scam. You're paying this dude all this money or whatever to quote unquote manage the fund, and the fund isn't even making any money. It's not even profitable, like, at all, period. It's gonna lose all this money. It's really sad, yo. And then you got dudes like Boyce, like, defending this dude, like, well, why are we just criticizing a black man, and all these white corporations, like, why you guys aren't talking about them, and this and that, and blah blah blah. And it's like, bro, come on, brother, like, humble yourself and call out the bullshit. Like, your boy's under investigation for some fraud shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, The all the evidence and everything is there about this dude's past, as far as like what he does, what he's done as far as the Chapter 7 stuff, how he's been taken to court with other business partners and everything like that. The dude is a fucking scammer, yo. He like Jay Morrison talks about him being a former drug dealer, dropout, this and that or whatever. And that's another thing these dudes do, right? They'll give you these pipe dreams like, yeah, I come from the gutter too, I'm from the hood, I'm from the trap, I'm from this and from that. I went from that, now I'm successful, I'm a successful former dope boy and all this and all that. Bro, like, nobody cares about that, bro. Like, I'm just concerned, and that's a great thing. All right, if that's what happened, right? I'm just saying. But yo, we're more concerned about me as an investor. Like, I'm more concerned about, you know, how my money is going to be performed working with you, doing a business relationship with you. Like, that should be the number one question. But it's so many red flags you got to look out for before you decide to be like, you know what, I'm going to put my money into this, this real estate fund, or I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? Let's see something. All right. But yeah, like, you gotta really look into that type of shit, before you be like, all right, I'm about to take $500, or I'm gonna do this and do that, right? So in one of Boyce's videos, right, Boyce said that he put he put 10 grand into this. Now, so far on YouTube, I haven't heard anybody ask this question. That all the videos that I've seen thus far, right? Okay, Boyce, you took 10 grand and gave it and put it towards the Tulsa real estate fund or whatever the case may be, right? Boyce, since we all know that this real estate fund isn't performing well, and it's gonna, all the liquid is gonna be gone, right? Would you take another 10 grand, or no, fuck 10 grand? Would you take another $20,000 of your money and dump it into the real estate fund again, or based upon performance? Because Boyce didn't even talk about the performance of the fund. We know that the fund is doing bad, yo. We know that this fund is doing bad, it's performing bad, it's doing terrible. It's gonna lose all its liquid, it's gonna lose all of his money, it's gone, it's done, it's over with. But yo, like, why defend this bullshit, bro? Just humbly say, you know what, I fucked up. I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't do my research. I was wrong on this. All this new stuff is coming out. It's been out for a while. It's been out for years. I had the opportunity to, do my actual research, actually look at the numbers, actually look at how this thing is going to perform, actually look at the verbiage as far as who's in charge of the fund. Yo, Jay Morrison made himself the CEO, the CFO, the COO. That alone right there is a conflict of interest, yo. You only got one fucking person that's in charge of the fund and how it's being managed, and nobody can, like, cross-check this motherfucker to be like, all right, yo, you're dumping all this money into marketing. Like, who's in charge? Who's running them ads? Who's who's running the ads as far as the marketing for the fund, and where it's going and where's money? Like, who's in charge of the books? Like, yo, all right, yo. Like, just stuff like this is so frustrating, yo. And Boyce is on fucking social media, like, beefing with people because he's been, it's checkmate. Like, you've been called out. People are showing the numbers, showing the breakdown of the thing, showing the way how this shit is structured. Regardless of how the performance is with the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, Jay Morrison is gonna make 600,000. He's gonna make, 800,000. He's gonna make these high six figures, even if the fund is performing poorly, yo. You know what I mean? I'm not no finance person, but you know what I mean. But I'm just saying this, like I try to do as much research as I possibly can do as far as where my money is going and how I got my money going into, you know, different shit. Like when I do my binary options in the morning every morning, I'm in charge of my shit. I'm the one making the trades. I'm the one that's, buying here, selling it there. You know what I mean? I'm in charge of that. That, and that's the next, like, I guess the best advice I can give you guys or whatever. Don't put your money in somebody else's hands. Like, as far as, like, oh, I'm making the investments. Like, understand where you're putting your money at. Like, understand, the performance of something before you decide to, like, all right, I'm gonna put my money into this exchange or whatever like that. You know what I mean? Like, cause you can get burned, like, on a forex tip, right? You could fuck with the offshore brokerage accounts or whatever, but you can get burned by fucking with some bullshit, you know, uh, exchange that just popped out the blue or whatever, and just say, like, I'm just saying hypothetically, just say you got $10,000 in there or whatever, right? And you in profits, you hit and you doing good. You might be like, well, shit, I'm gonna take out $6,000 of my liquid out of my brokerage account, but that brokerage might not even be able to have those funds, so they got your money tied up, and then they all of a sudden they just disappear and you fucked. You know what I mean? Just like stuff like that. I particularly look out for, like, how long this exchange has been around. Like, um, can I withdraw my money? Like, how long is it gonna take for that money to hit my account? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I'm just kind of going on a tangent, but just overall, like, any money that I, invest. First of all, I'm not gonna invest any money that I can't afford to lose. So, if I put X amount of bread into, an exchange or do something or whatever like that, whatever the case may be, and I lose it all, I'm not worried about losing my house. You know what I'm saying? And looking at the comments on that Tulsa real estate shit, a lot of folks was investing their money that they really couldn't play with, or as far as on the dealing with this whole, Jay Morrison Tulsa real estate fund bullshit. But I just honestly, I'm not confident in none of the information, quote unquote information, that Boyce puts out to the masses, because I've seen other people on YouTube really break down the numbers as far as the performance of this Tulsa real estate fund, how it was structured, where the money was going to go at, and to me, I, who else is really, as far as, like, the people that's in charge of this Tulsa real estate fund, who's in charge of, or, like, who are the other key players with this Tulsa real estate fund? And you don't know. It's only pointing to one person, and that to me is, like, kind of concerning, because it's like there should be multiple people that's moving in this, that's visible. You know what I mean? Like, so if you're like, so for instance, typically, like, if you go onto a company website, right? They got the chairman of the board, and you got all these different figures that's part of this company or conglomerate or, institution or whatever, that, like, all right, this is the CEO, this guy's in charge of finance, and hey, this is the head HR person, hey, this person is doing X, Y, and Z, et cetera, et cetera. But this old Tulsa real estate shit, I knew it, I just knew back then. I knew not to put no money into that shit. But that's what the grifters do, though, yo. They'll talk and use your pain and use your trauma to put money into their pocket, and put together plays for them to make themselves look good, jumping out of the Ferraris, rolling, wearing the Rolexes, talking that talk, talking this shit or whatever the case may be, to just, like, you know, financially gain off of your pain, basically. You know what I mean? But that's all I got for real, man. I just think, overall, this is the end of the video. And, my main points is, I think Boyce just needs to just humble himself and say that he was wrong. He got it wrong, and I think he should kind of sever ties with Jay. You know what I mean? Because the dude's under investigation right now with the SEC. Who knows? The IRS is probably on his ass and everything else. Um, I think moving forward, as an investor, you should first of all pay yourself first. So if you working a job, they got a Roth IRA or 401k or whatever the case may be, dump your money into that. Slow grind it. If you want to get into stocks, you can get into stocks, understand, how to buy stocks, understand how the exchanges work, etc. You know, and then, get the debt down, of course. And then any extra money that you have, then yeah, you can play with other, potential investment opportunities, whether it's like real estate, forex, crypto, whatever, life, certain types of life insurance or whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna get off here, man. It's just something to think about. All right, peace.